This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Monday, October 18. In Squiz Kids Today, lockdown lift early for Melbourne. India's solar-powered iron. The mystery sound from outer space. And a croc-plosion in the Northern Territory. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
Can you hear that? That's us, doing a happy dance for Squiz Kids in Melbourne following the news yesterday that lockdown number 6 would be ending this Friday, earlier than planned, bringing to an end the longest lockdown any city in the world has endured during the COVID pandemic. And it's all thanks to the cracking rate at which Victorians have been getting vaccinated, with the state expected to hit the magic 70% of the population being fully vaccinated by the end of this week. Importantly, for all you Melbourne Squiz kids tired of home learning and gagging to get back into the playground and see your friends, the gradual return to school for students from grade 3 to year 11 has been fast-tracked and will begin this Friday. While school kids of all ages in regional Victoria can troop back to the classroom from Friday too. The news comes, of course, hot on the heels of the big announcement from the New South Wales government on Friday that it was scrapping quarantine requirements for fully vaccinated Aussies and reopening the borders so that people could travel overseas again. It's all part of the gradual reopening of the country in line with rising rates of vaccination and signs that life may soon return to some sort of normal. Well done, Melbourne. Well done, Victoria. You've done it tough. Squiz Kids salutes you.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in southern India, where a 14-year-old girl has invented an iron powered by the sun. In the Indian state where Vinisha Umashankar lives, lots of people make a living ironing other people's clothes. The problem is, though, the metal irons they use are heated by charcoal, and burning charcoal causes air pollution, which in turn causes some people to get sick. It also puts a lot of carbon dioxide into the air, contributing to global warming, so altogether not great. Vinisha thought to herself, "We have 300 days a year of sunshine here. Why don't I build a solar iron?" Today, she'll find out if her mobile ironing cart, powered by a bicycle and the sun, has won the first ever Earthshot prize. Vinisha's cart has solar-charged batteries that allow people to iron into the night, a horn to let people know that she's there, and even a phone charging port. Check out the video in your episode notes.
Spaced out.
A strange noise is coming from outer space that has astronomers scratching their head and excitedly wondering if maybe there are real-life aliens out there in the galaxy. For 9 months now, scientists manning telescopes in both Western Australia and South Africa have picked up a strange radio signal coming from near the very centre of our galaxy, the Milky Way. The telescopes pick up radio signals from outer space all the time, but most are regular and come from things like dead stars or a massive flare from a star. This signal, though, turns on and off at irregular intervals, meaning there's no obvious pattern, and it's like no other radio signal that's ever been detected before. Could there be another life form out there trying to send us a message? Here's hoping. How cool would that be?
Animal Kingdom.
Imagine wandering into your backyard and finding a crocodile nest. That's what the people of Palmerston, just south of Darwin in the Northern Territory, have done, as numbers of saltwater crocs in Australia's north climb to record numbers. Park rangers reckon that the crocodile population in the NT has climbed to 100,000, which is quite something given that the human population of the Northern Territory is only just 245,000. So that's practically one croc for every 2.5 people in the NT. Yikes! The population explosion is good news for crocodiles because it means that laws to save them from being hunted to extinction have worked. But it's less good news because now there are so many of them, they've started building nests close to where humans live. And as glorious a creature as they are, no one wants to be going to sleep at night knowing there's a crocodile at the bottom of their backyard.
Squiz Kids for schools.
Teachers of the Squiz Kids universe, have you signed up yet for a free trial of Squiz Kids for schools? It's a daily suite of classroom resources linked to each day's podcast and compiled by our very own journalist-turned-teacher Amanda Bauer. Do yourselves a favour and go to squizkids.com.au and sign up today. It's free for the remainder of Term 4 and a great way to extend the usefulness of this podcast. As well as daily literacy activities, we're producing a weekly shortcut, or deep dive into a big news story. This week's shortcut is all about volcanoes and earthquakes, and to get you in the mood, I've stuck a link in today's episode notes to an amazing video of giant boulders being carried along rivers of lava on the Spanish island of La Palma, where a volcano has been erupting for over a month now.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. The population of what great big reptile has exploded in the Northern Territory? That's right, they're crocodiles. Question number 2. In which country does the 14-year-old inventor of a solar iron live? Yeah, that's right, she's from India. Question number 3. Telescopes in Western Australia and what other country in the Southern Hemisphere have detected a strange noise from outer space? You got it, it's South Africa.
Shout outs.
It's October 18. On the subject of kids returning to school, Kindy, Year 1 and Year 12 students in New South Wales are back in the classroom today. Hurrah! It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Sarah from Listerfield, Samantha from Bogangate, AJ from Orange, Ciara from Canberra, Cooper from Albany Hills, Sienna from Rochdale and Gabrielle from Sydney. And belated birthday shout-outs go to Annabelle from Thornley, Lockie from the Gold Coast, Jack from Fernhill, Charlie from Blaxland East, Miles from Northcote, and Lachlan and Mark from Munopara. And because many of our friends in Melbourne, Canberra and Sydney are still not back at school, we're sending out home learning herograms. To Kahu from Abbotsford Public School, to Class 5-6 Barty at Appin Public School, and Class KB at Double Bay Public School. A shout out to Mrs. Rosa in Grade 3 at Waitara Public School and to Austin from Padstow Heights for doing a great job schooling at home. Lucy and James send a herogram to the students and teachers in Class 3-4 SM and 1-2C from Ainsley School in Canberra, while Rose sends a herogram to all of Grade 2 at Gladesville Public School. Lastly, a herogram to Mr. Salver and Class F2 at Hammond Park Primary School. And finally, classroom shout-outs to those lucky Squiz Kids not in lockdown. To Year 3, Mr. Corbin and Mrs. Livingston at St Mary's Catholic Primary School in Orange. Also to 6B at St Joseph's Primary School in Kempsey, and to Oval Room 2 at the Narberthong Special School in Woolloongabba, who say they are big Squiz Kids fans. Ah, well that's so good to hear. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, or you'd like to send a home learning herogram, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.